Hey everybody out there in the internet, comic book and comic related world, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. And before we get started with any comic books, I thought this was hilarious. Gonna share it with you guys. The end of the world is not near. I thought this was hilarious when I saw it in the Daily News this weekend.
Oh, they're still doing that?
So that's just something I wanted to throw out there just for the heck of it.
Guys.
So the comic books in this video, in this episode, were released on December 5th, 2012. We are in the first week of the final month of 2012. Oh my god, guys, I am so excited for what's to come in 2013. Michael actually has a special in-depth review for you guys that is going to be up probably, because I'm going to be uploading this overnight, it'll probably be up Monday night, which is tonight for you guys, but we're going to shoot it tonight to have it up and ready to go for you guys on Dark Avenger Inc. It's a special book that I hear you actually really did enjoy.
I actually did.
Also, sometime this week, I will have my first digital-only comic review part to this comic review, the plus to this comic review. I don't know when exactly it's going to go up, when I'm going to record it, so I am giving you guys a warning. I have no idea when I'm going to do it. It might actually be towards the end of the week. I really don't have that many books this week, to be honest. I only have one or two.
And
next week,
of the news
I believe.
Of what happened in.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. Oh, this is gonna be a special. This is going to be a different kind of review this week, and it's because of something that happened. But we'll get to that when we get to the company.
Yes.
Also, 38 more episodes to go before 200.
Yep.
And we'll get to one piece of news that, instead of saying before we start the review, let's go into the independent books first. We have 3 independent books. 1 you're doing, 2 I'm doing.
Yep.
First one is Invincible. Yes, Invincible is now part of my pull list. Mark got his powers back in the last issue. I got issue 97. I just didn't review it here because I got it late. So because I missed it, I didn't review it. I didn't do it on ink because it was already taken on ink, so I just skipped it completely, and now I'm going to do 98. Mark got his powers back in the last issue. This issue, he's talking to the guy. I don't know who he is. They mentioned him, and he was actually in issue number 97. It was all about him, and his name completely mind-wiped out of my mind. Really, I didn't care about the issue. I cared about the last page of the issue, so to be honest, this was actually the first issue I read. And it is technically part 1 of 3, so don't kill me. Mark got his powers back. He doesn't care about the guy being invincible. Mark actually says it's better because now I can go off and do bigger and better. I can keep an eye on the bigger picture. I can do bigger and better things. You could stay as invincible. I'll be something else. I love the blue costume. It turns out Dinosaur, I forgot his full name. Dinosaur something. Whatever his name is. It turns out that he planted these bombs in Los Angeles, and it's up to Mark to actually go find them all. Dinosaurus. And at first they think they're bombs, so they're looking to locate all of them in order to disable them before they go off. It turns out they cause earthquakes instead. And then Dinosaurus shows up towards the end of the book and says this was just a distraction, and Mark's like, a distraction from what? And we find out he wasn't looking just to kill the people of Los Angeles. He believes the world is going to end in a matter of a couple of weeks and billions will die. He's looking to destroy the entire world and kill everybody in it. And that's his master plan. And it just ends with Mark actually saying, "You're killing everyone." And that's it. Next issue is issue 99, and then we get issue 100. Looking forward to that. I'm definitely getting the chromium cover for issue 100 of Invincible, strictly because it pays homage to the issue 100 of The Walking Dead. So I'm looking forward to issue 100 of Invincible.
So, did you rate it?
I'm about to.
Oh, I didn't know. Could you get it?
4 out of 5 stars.
Oh, okay.
Jump on friendly, no, but thank God I did find a couple of Invincible books because we're working with Image. And I did a little bit of brushing up, and I did have that free issue number 1 that Image did a while back, so I know the first issue. So suffice it to say, along with the compendium of Walking Dead, I will be probably looking into getting the compendium of Invincible. Hellboy in Hell, issue 1. My first Hellboy issue. Not too much dialogue, lots of action. Hellboy, it takes place right after Hellboy died last year. It's taken a year for them to do this. It shows Hellboy descending to hell. Somebody's looking for him. They said it's not his time yet. I love how this page actually is the part of the cover. Cover art is exactly what you get inside the book, which is rare to see. So this woman who doesn't give him her name at first, she's speaking, she does some type of a magic, and she's there to bring Hellboy back because she's supposed to, and I quote, there are things he's yet to do, horrible things. You go now and drag him out of the pit. You may find that you take some of his burdens upon yourself. Are you prepared to do that? The woman says yes. So she tries to save him from this guy whom was sent to hell. He's not in hell yet. He's basically, let's just say, at Hell's Gates. And him and this woman are running, are being chased by this guy, and they're trying to escape. He finally does escape. There's references to Hellboy the Wild Hunt, which is the character you guys see here that's chasing after Hellboy. And then there's also a reference to Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, which you guys can see on these 2 pages. And Hellboy basically gets taken by this ghost-like creature, and they're over some type of a town. And that's where they leave you off with this book. This book was a very quick read, but then again it is a $2.99 book. There are pages like this where there's heavy dialogue, but then there are pages like this where it's very light dialogue and you get through it really, really quickly. Overall, though, 4.5 out of 5 stars. I only take a half star off because it was a very quick read. Will it be back next issue? Absolutely, positively. Hellboy's in hell, right? Well, not in hell. He's in Hell's Gate. I'm looking forward to issue 2 of Hellboy in Hell. Good to see Hellboy still around. I would say alive, but he's technically not alive.
Yeah.
So I liked it. I'm looking forward to it. Mike, I gave you these because they're color classics. Go for it.
My favorite book of this week, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Michelangelo.
Micro series.
This
is the 1980s. It's that's why it's color classics. Yes. It's the 1980s one-shots.
Yes, and I did an in-depth review of this. This is my favorite Ninja Turtle. I'm just going to sum it up real quickly. Should I show some more?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Basically, it just shows the story of Michelangelo. It's a full...
I think this issue looks better in color. I mean, you guys can crucify me for that later, I'm sure, but I read this in black and white in the Ultimate Collection. The snow was a pain in the butt to see through some of the pictures. Here, everything's colored, so the snow doesn't really matter.
So this issue just talks about Michelangelo and the cat he found, Clunk, where there are robbers that are taking a truck full of little orphan aliens that's sent to the child orphanage, and he just goes on, Michelangelo he goes after the truck to take the truck back to the orphanage during Christmas. This is a holiday book during the Christmas season, since we're in the Christmas month. And there was just lots of action, excitement, and just want to show the ending of, like, he did get the truck back, asking his Ninja Turtle brothers in April, and at the end, you got the little orphan aliens at the children's home on Brown Street. So the artwork was great and the story was really amazing, and this is a definite 5 out of 5. I mean, Ninja Turtles, I don't know why I haven't read Ninja Turtle comic books a long time ago, but it is just really
spectacular. I don't know why I didn't read it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't read it.
And it's a one-shot, guys, so definitely check it out. It's Michelangelo, and it's this season. We're
officially done with the indies, and now we go. Usually this is where I say we're going into the big 2, and we are going into the big 2. A lot of you guys heard the news recently that DC Comics, whatever his first name is, I think it's Dennis Cunningham. Now, you guys know I don't read Batgirl. I dropped it a very long time ago, but I am a fan of Gail Simone. I've read a lot of her work, and the only reason I really dropped Batgirl was because I wasn't interested in the character. The stories were very strong, very solid, and are still very solid, and I think Batgirl is doing really well. I'm just not interested in the character. It's not in me to really. I've tried to read Batgirl. It's like me reading. A lot of people told me to read, like me reading FF. A lot of people like FF. I just don't like the characters in FF. Or there were several titles that people say I should read, and I just can't get into the characters. This was one of them. Gail Simone got an email from Mr. Cunningham and was not only released from the book, but basically all the things that all these stories have been leading up to, or all the plans for Batgirl after issue 17, I believe, have been scrapped, and they're going in a new direction, and they got rid of Gail Simone. Now, far be it from me to say, you know, I told you guys so. I know I've seen so far a total of about 4 videos. Well, not really videos. 1 video and a couple of people who made statements on Facebook and on written websites looking to make an example. Some people say they're just quitting DC for good for a while. They're walking away from DC Comics, and maybe in a couple of years things will straighten up. I know a few people said that in protest they're not buying DC Comics. I thought about the whole protest thing, not buying DC Comics, but let's be realistic. 5 or 6 people will go on protest, and for every 5th or 6th person that goes on protest, there'll be 5 or 6 other people that won't really care and will still be buying their DC comic books. Unfortunately, we live in a time where even if people say don't buy a book, you know, to show that you don't like it, unfortunately there will still be people that, whether they care or not about the person leaving DC Comics, they're still going to grab and buy DC comic books. So I'm not going to bother not reading a comic book, because even though I'm not, or he's not, there will be 4 or 5 people to cover over the fact that we're not buying the books. However, in respect for Gail Simone, for this week's comic book review, I will not be reviewing the DC comic books in this pile. So, Smallville, Animal Man, and Swamp Thing, all books I read this week. I will not be reviewing them. This is my way, in one episode, of protesting against Gail Simone being fired from DC Comics. This book, Smallville, was pretty good. I say it's a 3.5, no, it's a 4 out of 5 stars. And both Swamp Thing and Animal Man get 3.5 stars each. Why? I'm not explaining. I will give you guys this much. Swamp Thing, Batman, infected, Barbara Gordon can change into a bat. It was interesting, and it turns out that Abby in the past is fighting against Anton Arcane. And here it's just Buddy going after his daughter still, and he has a dream about Cliff, and Cliff warns him about don't turn your back on something. So 3.5 out of 5 stars from both of those books. No, yeah, 3.5 I'll say. Won't review them. Not going to show any internal artwork. Don't care. This is my way of protesting. It's the best way, because I'll be honest with you guys. I know a lot of you guys mean well by saying don't buy DC Comics. I support that, and if you guys want to protest that way, I say go for it, absolutely. But unfortunately, we live in a time where even if you're telling people to protest, for every person who says, okay, I'm not going to buy DC Comics, there's 4 or 5 other people that are going to say, look, I don't agree with Gail Simone being fired, but I like this book, or but I only read these books. So no matter what, sales aren't going to completely drop from DC. What I can say, and I hope a lot of people will do, especially the loyal readers and followers of Gail Simone, is don't pick up Batgirl after Gail Simone's off the book. That's the best solution I can think of. But dropping all your DC comic books, unfortunately, I don't see people doing that. I still am interested in seeing what's going on in Batman and Robin. And yeah, I did pick up Batman and Robin next week. And Green Lantern. So I'm not going to drop all my DC comic books, but in protest I won't be reviewing this week's books. Here's your Green Arrow book, Michael. There's Green Arrow 15, both Animal Man and Swamp Thing 15.
Yeah, so Green Arrow 15, you know what? I'm not going to review this comic book.
You're not going to review it?
I'm actually agreeing with what you're saying. I've known Gail Simone in the DC comic books, so all I gotta say is, guys, I'm with him with this one, so I have to actually sometime this week do a in-depth review of Green Arrow, but 4.5 out of 5. Something to look forward to for the next issue is all I'm saying. So, you know what? Just put it on the side. I'm not going to do it. Not because I'm doing what he does. I just think that it was wrong of DC to release Gail Simone. I mean, it's
so
just not right.
This is what we're doing. For 1 week, we won't be discussing DC Comics on my channel.
And that goes for the live as well.
Live show as well. No offense to all my friends that are going to be on the live show, but this is kind of my way of protesting. For 1 week, I will not be talking about reviewing, even on Ink, or anything to do with DC Comics except for Gail Simone. So any type of promotion that DC's pulling, I won't be talking about. Vertigo doesn't count because there is something for Vertigo. But anything to do with the mainstream DC Comics for 1 week, starting today, because today is Monday, all the way through until next Monday, the next comic book review, I will not be talking about, discussing, reviewing, or even live talking about DC Comics. They will not even be on the live show. So all my friends who are watching this video that I know will be on the live show tomorrow night, DC comic books, you can leave those somewhere else in your house. I won't be talking about them, but we will be talking about Gail Simone.
But sometime this week, I'll do an in-depth on Dark Avenger. So
yeah, Mike doesn't count. This is just my way of protesting.
Yeah, but just
I know one or two of you are going to say don't review the books for a month, but especially with Batman coming out next week, yeah, I'm doing it for 1 week. I love you, Gail. I hope you go to Marvel. I said this on the Facebook page for Dark Avenger Inc. I said this on Comic Related. I said this on Comic Related when the article was posted on Comic Related. Bram posted the article. I hope Gail, go to Marvel and write Captain Marvel. Write some up for some comic book on Marvel, and I will definitely check it out. Marvel will show you the respect you deserve. I'm sorry, but anybody who says anything bad about Gail Simone, you obviously don't know the artist, or you don't know the person, or you just don't have good taste in writers. Because I'm sorry, but Gail Simone deserved. If they were going to release her, they should have done it in a more respectful and honorable way than, oh, hi, email, yeah, you're fired, at the end. And completely erase everything she had planned.
And it's during the Christmas holidays. I mean, seriously, I mean...
Go to Marvel, Gail. Go to Marvel. They will treat you 1,000,000% better, and I would look forward to seeing a book from you, from Marvel. Marvel, if you're listening, go get Gail. Go bring her to your side of the playing field and give her a couple of books. Give her the New Avengers. Give her some Marvel Now books. Promise you guys, you won't regret it. So we're now in Marvel, obviously, and we're gonna start with Daredevil End of Days, issue 3 of 8. And to be honest, this is just basically more along the lines of Ben Urich asking Elektra if she knows who Maypone is, what or who Maypone is. She doesn't know, and she threatens to kill him if he ever comes near her again. We have this woman he goes to see called, what was her name? Typhoid Mary, and she basically went through a whole psychiatric thing where she has split personalities. She doesn't know anything about Maypone. And then finally he goes to Maya Lopez, who's seen here. I like the flashback artwork, and he asks her if she knows anything about Maypone, and she doesn't. All these women had intimate relationships with Daredevil, and it's weird, but 2 of them have children with red hair that look like Daredevil, but that's beside the point. And then finally, spoiler alert here, he gets a phone call, Ben Urich, that they found Bullseye. And we get our first look at a current day, I'm believing, Daredevil. I believe this is the present Daredevil. And him and Ben Urich are speeding towards where Bullseye is.
Who thought Bullseye would return?
I don't know if he's alive or dead.
Well, wasn't he dead?
So I'm guessing this is the present. Huh?
Wasn't he dead issues back?
No. So it's 8 issues. The next issue is the midway point. I'm going to stick to it, but if the next issue is the exact same way again, where you just go into random people and saying, what's Maypone, what's Maypone? This is the 2nd issue of Maypone. I've had enough. And all I learned in this issue was Daredevil slept with a lot of girls.
I didn't think Daredevil would have.
And we don't know if the Typhoid Mary over there, if those kids are actually Daredevils. We don't know. And Elektra has a kid who looks just like Typhoid Mary's. We don't know if Daredevil could be another Gene Simmons, if you know what I mean.
Giggity, giggity.
Here you go, XFactor.
Ah, yes.
Oh, sorry, I almost said it.
Oh. Well, they heard some of it. XFactor issue number 248.
I have something in my eye.
Yeah, this issue was really something else, and there's good news about this comic book from the beginning. Pip is alive.
No, he isn't.
Well, not alive, but technically in the beginning,
It's Thanos.
he meets up with
Thanos.
Thanos and Death. Thank you for almost pulling my arm all the way out.
Nah, you'll be fine.
So, that's a good thing about it. However, let's just say in exchange, he went in Monet's body. Yeah. Apparently, he is now a chick. Because she has telepathic powers and all that stuff, so...
And he's unzipping her shirt. Oh, who didn't see that?
Well, guys, you know, curious. But anyway, looking over that. So, they're trying to find out the XFactor team of, like, he's still breathing, and they want to know if they could use Monet to probe his mind. Like telepathic powers, like I just said before. So, they're saying, like Monet comes in the scene, like, saying, oh, that's me, I got China in. Then he's, like, saying, like, wait, how do you know that? And then he explains of what happened to himself, and they all think it's a joke, where it's really not. So, yeah, there's just a lot of things that happen in that scene itself. Also, Jamie and Layla have a scene where they are in it just for a little bit. And, yeah, Shatterstar tries to get a reading of the gun by that woman who shot him, Vera. And let's just say, because I'm going to do an in-depth review, the ending...
Explosive.
And remember when XFactor is going to fall? Oh boy, to be continued in the next issue. There better be some plan that the XFactor team's going to have to do, but all I have to say is wow. I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. It was a good issue. No one dies. That's another spoiler. No one dies. No one left. Well, I don't want to see anyone die, like I said before, but nobody left. They were all still together, but when I do an in-depth review, wait till you see what happens in the end, because...
and wait till you hear about this
gotta
book.
Get the next issue.
Wait till you hear about this book, Amazing Spider-Man $6.99. Either you loved this book or you hated it, because I saw people who hated the artwork, hated the concept, hated this, hated that, hated the other thing. Basically, now, there's no Spider-Man person, no Peter Parker Spider-Man with Dr. Ock's brain in him.
Oh, okay.
This time it's Peter Parker as inside Dr. Octopus's body, and you have the shattered 50th anniversary. See, it said 50 years and it's shattered.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, Spider-Man, they bring him back to life, obviously. Spider-Man inside Doc Ock's body now is accessing into Doc Ock's memories to figure out how Doc Ock did the brain switch. And we find out in this book actually how he did it. First of all the equipment that Spider-Man's been wearing, all the helmets and headgear, was designed by Doc Ock. So basically every time Spider-Man put something on that was mechanical, that was once Doc Ock's or Doc Ock related, Doc Ock got basically access to his brain. And then finally during the fight, this is all spoilers by the way, because this was already reviewed on Ink. During the fight with the Hobgoblins is where the switch happened. The Octobot we've been seeing, and the whole flash of gold, yeah, basically the Octobot, because Spider-Man's spider sense was completely screwed up during the Hobgoblin, then you remember that.
Yeah, well,
it did a little brain switch. It activated something, it stabbed into Spider-Man's head, and it did the brain switch. So anyway, wait, but it's still alive, and Pete actually activates the Octobot to send out a message, and a contingency plan, so to speak.
I can't believe it.
And it turns out that Hydro... Or Hydro-Man? Yeah, Hydro-Man, Scorpion, and I forget what this guy is, but Pete keeps calling him, call me Trapster, but Pete calls him Pasty Pot Pete, but beside the point, it's Trapster. Break out Pete from, well, Pete who's in Doc Ock's body from the jail, and it turns out that also Kurt Connors admitted to to Pete, who's in Doc Ock's body, that he's really Kirk Connors. He was cured, but he's trapped in the Scorpion's body. And actually, Pete wants to take the lizard with him, but he chooses not to.
How do you do that?
So they break him out, and in the end, the next part of the plan was to catch Spider-Man dead or alive, and then Pete actually says, alive. Definitely need him alive.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So basically, the Octobot, who...
To be concluded in issue 700. I'm sorry, let me just finish this.
Oh.
And issue 699.1 is basically just a setup for Morbius. I did not get it. It's coming out next week. I am not getting Amazing Spider-Man 699.1. It's not worth it. I'm not reading Morbius, the Living Vampire. Even when it comes out as a Marvel Now #1, that is going to be one of the few Marvel Now #1s I'm just not getting. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I'm not interested in Morbius at all. If you ask me, I don't understand why he's even getting a full ongoing series. But this book, 3.5 out of 5. No, 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. I'll take a star away just because we didn't see, we really just saw the other side of the coin, and it was a quick read, to be honest.
Yeah, but basically what you're telling me is that all this time was the Octobot who got to Spider-Man.
Yeah, the whole explanation of Doc Ock was kind of a little like, oh, really? That's how you're going?
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in Spider-Man, and now he's got...
See, Mike's the example of the side of the store, of the side of the fan base that hates it. I'm on the side of the fan base that says it's okay.
No, it's that...
It's an explanation.
No, it's not that I hate it. It's just I don't agree with Spider-Man making Spider-Man to Doc Ock. It's not that I hate it. I'm just a person that doesn't agree with it.
Oh, okay. And as far as the artwork on the inside, yeah, I can understand how people don't like it. That's kind of a half of the star. And the other half was... Really, it was the machines and everything. Who didn't see that coming? So that's why the full star gets taken away. It's a half for the art and a half for the explanation.
I'm just saying that because he's my first favorite superhero.
Meaning it's not that bad in my opinion. I don't think it's that bad. At least I don't.
No, I'm just saying he's just my first favorite superhero. That's why I don't agree.
My entire universe, my favorite universe, ever since 2011 has been erased.
Well, now I know how you feel now because of that. So
now you know how I feel, and you still don't know how I feel because it was an entire universe as opposed to just one character.
All right. Well, Marvel. There's Marvel now. It's
not It's not rebooting the Marvel universe.
It's not.
It's just starting over the numbering.
But Marvel does the smart thing, and DC didn't. I don't know why.
They just fire good talent.
Like Gail Simone.
Except for when they released what's his name?
And
damn it, the artist that does. Oh, the artist in DC that we were making fun of.
Michael Bendis.
No, he's in Marvel.
Oh, he's a Marvel.
Yeah, Brian Michael Bendis. No, oh God, I'm gonna remember it. And we
got to now think after now. It's DC, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying now to think. I don't know.
Deathlock.
Oh boy.
We'll remember it in the first part. So I'll see you guys in the next part, and we'll conclude with Marvel because that's all that's left. See you guys there.